All right, let's talk about Kirk Cousins here and the Atlanta Falcons. I think Kirk Cousins would be leading the MVP race if he could play Tampa Bay every week. He's been dominant against them in the two games he played. Let's talk about what he was able to do so well in this game. So, starting off with this play, it was a huge play in the game. So, very early on, obviously, but Tampa Bay fumbled on their opening drive. Atlanta only gained 7 yards on their first three plays. So, now on a 4th and 3, they could try a long field goal, but I like the decision to go for it right here. First, what Atlanta wants to do is look towards their left. You have Darnell Mooney and you have Drake London both running the two routes you see on the screen. Both could get open, and I mean, hey, those are two guys that tend to get open a lot, so it makes sense. Here's the issue. Tampa Bay has a couple players covering over the middle of the field. They're aware of not just how many players are over there, but also who's over there. They know the numbers on the front of the jersey, and they're saying, okay, let's make sure we cover those guys. Watch, you see that they, not just have their best corners over there, but they also are doubling both of those two players. Both of the Tampa Bay players over the middle have moved up towards the top of the screen. If Drake London was a little bit more open, maybe they could still fire in that direction, but honestly, probably not, because there's a player just off screen about to come in and try and make a play. So for Cousins, what does he do? Well, is the play over? No. Look at Kyle Pitts right there, who is just about to get completely wide open right here. Watch as he actually gets held on that play, but didn't get held very well. Is still able to get wide open, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And this is just what Atlanta can do to you, right? Is if you give Cousins time to get to his next read, you have to put so much into just stopping the first read. This allows for more players to get open. Here it was Kyle Pitts being able to, again, show you why he was drafted as high as he was back in the day. Really good stuff by him, but good stuff by Cousins as well to read the play and make it work. Pitts had a big day. This was his other big play where what's going to happen is it's a relatively simple play. It's just one of those over-the-middle routes against zone coverage. A lot of times, timing is the most important aspect of a play like this. And for Cousins, when he takes the snap, I find this really interesting because he's just starting to throw motion right now. But you see, Kyle Pitts has not even cut over the middle of the field. This is why every now and then you see a throw where, it looks like it's just nowhere near where the receiver was. It's because you're expecting the receiver to cut, but then you were actually wrong about when they cut. Here you see, times it so well, gets it to Kyle Pitts, who makes the safety miss. That's Antoine Winfield. Not an easy safety to make miss, but he made it work. Now, here's the issue. Obviously, I'm sure Atlanta fans kind of had their heart stop for a second when they saw how he's going to finish this play. Definitely jogs into the end zone and even reaches the ball backwards as he's running into the end zone, which is I'm not sure exactly what you're doing there. Listen, he got into the end zone, and he said after the game, hey, I can't let it come down to the ref like that. I got to make sure I get in. So it's one of those, it's a forgivable mistake when it doesn't result in the fumble. It's an unforgivable mistake when it does result in the fumble. Got to be more careful than that, especially when just last season in this stadium, Atlanta had a similar thing happen. Desmond Ridder didn't have the ball in the right hand, fumbled at the 1 yard line to Antoine Winfield. Got to be smarter than that. Luckily for him, did not come back to bite him, and it was a great play by him and by Cousins. And then Cousins just did stuff like this, where it's a 3rd down and 6. Once again, Darnell Mooney's route is going to be a key one here. You see how it's going from the offense's left to the offense's right. And they have, for Tampa Bay, they have a backup corner in the game here in this one. So I think what the best teams do is figure out ways to isolate those matchups, right? Find the best matchup, and then when the play begins, do something like what Cousins is doing here. You see how he's kind of looking all over, but really looking more towards the top of the screen, more towards over the middle. He's trying to make sure the safety does not go over and help out the backup corner. So then when he fires, Darnell Mooney is doing exactly what you expect him to be doing. He is dominating this matchup. Safety is out of position. This is once again Antoine Winfield, who's getting burned a little bit right here due to a good job by Cousins. Cousins also makes a really accurate throw. They get a big touchdown. And again, that's a 3rd down and 6 right there. So had he not made that play, it's a long field goal. I think Koo probably makes it, but he doesn't definitely make it, right? He has weirdly missed some field goals against Tampa Bay this season. So this is just, it's really good stuff here by Kirk Cousins. And there was just also some great throws. Like this one, it's once again going to be kind of the same thing, finding the backup corner going up against Mooney right here and finding the best matchup and attacking it. Although this time when his play begins, it's a good route, but it's also not bad coverage here, I would say. So sometimes, hey, backup corners are still in the NFL for a reason, being in pretty good position to try and make a play, but as the old expression goes, a good catch and a good throw can beat good coverage. That's exactly what happens here. Great throw, great catch, really well ran route, and they're able to pick up a big gain. That was a big play. That allowed them to get into field goal range. That's another 3 points. I mean, we're talking about plays that put points on the board for Atlanta in huge ways. Also, this one, what's going to happen is this is, again, a relatively key play. It's a 3rd down and 5 right here. They're in field goal range, but this would be a touchdown drive. So I guess that's a bit of a spoiler as to what's about to happen. But anyway, you see right here, they're going to have a receiver run a deep shot, trying to push the corner further deep. Another receiver is going to run a route going more towards the sideline on this play. It's once again Mooney who they're looking towards. And when this play begins, again, the deep shot does take away the attention you need it to. Really well ran route by Mooney. There's a bit of separation. And again, if you look in Cousins' direction, he's already getting rid of the football right here. Watch as he fires it. They're able to get the completion. Again, not a ton, not a highlight reel level play, right? But these are really important plays. And this is kind of what they brought Cousins in to do, is to be able to just run an offense, have situations like this, and be able to succeed in these types of situations. It goes a long way, and that's what he was able to do. But of course, there's one other reason they brought him in. And that's for this, which is his dual threat ability. I mean, Kirk Cousins, when you sign him, you're not just expecting him to be a thrower, you're expecting him to be a rusher too, right? Okay, obviously, I'm kidding. But that was one of the plays of the game was a scramble, so let's talk about it. It's a situation where it's a cover 1 blitz for Tampa Bay. They're playing man coverage, and the way this works is, 5 guys are going to be rushing the passer, which, they weren't getting pressure all game. Atlanta was doing a great job of blocking, so setting an extra guy to try to generate some pressure, and then there's 5 players in coverage who are going to only be looking at the guy they're supposed to cover. So, therefore, only the safety and the 5 players rushing the passer will be paying attention to Cousins, and obviously, the 5 guys rushing the passer will have an offensive lineman blocking them. So watch how when this play begins, sort of the C parts up the middle, and you see right here, Cousins, he looks over and he says, hey, there's nobody here. But honestly, watch him move. And he does a pretty good job at getting as much space as possible. He does, he falls down a little bit easily. Maybe has to work on falling forward because he didn't get the first down there, but he still came very close. They were able to, ultimately go for it on a 4th down and 1 and convert before finally getting stopped, settling for a field goal that they missed, unfortunately for them. But just killing that extra clock, Tampa Bay ran out of time at the end. If Cousins doesn't make that play, it's very reasonable to think that could have been the difference in the game. So, huge play there for Cousins, was able to make a lot of stuff happen. Definitely ran to offense, but hey, I think sometimes what we talk about with these quote-unquote game managers is there's sometimes a point when you need to make a play. Can you do that? And Cousins was able to do that as well with his legs and through the air in this game. So, yeah, big win by the Atlanta Falcons, who now have a game lead and a tiebreaker over Tampa Bay. And, the Panthers and Saints combined just have 3 wins. So, seems like it's a 2-horse race with 1 horse steadily in the lead as of right now. And a big part of it is the guy they gave a bunch of money to in Kirk Cousins. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.